component if you have questions about that. And then, of course, my personal favorite is the 4-H program. So our 4-H program here in Craighead County is pretty large. We have some amazing kids in it, and that is just a program that really gets kids out there in the community, giving back to the community, learning how to be compassionate, be good citizens, learning how to public speak. And, you know, back in the day, people thought it was a farm program, and it was, and now it's expanded from farm and animal science all the way to robotics and food, nutrition, and fitness.
Okay, I need to give a brief... Okay, I apologize in advance if no one heard much of anything, or we were too low, the microphones were down low. Okay, so, you know what? Today feels like a Monday. Where's my reset button?
That's right.
Reset, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get this show rolling without further ado. The video cam is up and rolling, so you can watch us live on Facebook. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them there, or you can give us a call, 870-882. No, that's the phone number.
Now everybody's got Quibble's number.
870-277-1080. Okay. Whew, let's start over. So, Miss Jerrie, we're going to talk about the the expanded food nutrition. I'm just going to say NFNEP.
You can say FNEP. Let's say FNEP.
FNEP. Okay. So we're going to start talking about your program, and you're going to be starting back up your classes in January.
Yes, I do have some classes that go on throughout the year. I go to local daycares here. And I do a small little program with some of the parents, but I'm starting up a program in January that'll be on Saturdays, and it's going to be more of a family-oriented thing so that the kids can get involved too, and it's going to be over at Fisher Street Methodist Baptist, no.
I don't think it works that way.
Fisher Street Methodist Church.
We're all God's children. We're all God's children. We are.
Okay. I promise you all, we have not had anything to drink. Coffee and orange juice, but we just have fun.
I had a lot of coffee, though. A lot of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be at Fisher Street Methodist Church the 4 Saturdays in January. Dr. Coleman and Gail Taylor from Mid-South Health Systems is helping me get everything set up so that we can have a really good group. And so that's going to get rolling. So if you're interested in that, you can call our office at 870-933-4565, or you can find me on Facebook. It's Craighead County FNEP program.
Okay, and what was that phone number again? I'm going to type it into the Facebook the live stream.
Okay, it's 870-933-4565.
4565.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have this. Go ahead.
And if you have questions, or if you want to join, or if you want to attend, then that would be great. Space might be a little limited though, because we don't want it to be too big. We want it to stay
fairly small.
Yeah. So if we have a lot of people that want to join, then we'll do it again in February as well, because we don't want to leave anyone out.
Okay. And with these programs, you said it's family oriented, parents and the children, and that's a big thing. We really need to get families more involved in the food preparing process. We talked about this once before we kind of ran out of time at that time. How to get the parent to engage the child so they know what they're eating, they know what foods look like, the names of foods, and the more engaged they are, I think the more excited they will be to try either new foods,
absolutely,
share with their friends what they're learning, or want to do better, maybe do some more research or some more reading. Okay, let's try something different. They'll be more excited about what they're eating versus just you hand them a plate of something.
Right. I know that Maleigha and her daughter, they spend time in the kitchen cooking stuff, and her daughters eat like amazingly healthy. Yeah. And it's just amazing to me.
People are like, yes, my child just wants like chicken nuggets. And I'm like, I wish my child wanted chicken nuggets. Jesse will scalp you for $40 worth of Thai food, Indian food, or sushi. There's no McDonald's happening in this house. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. So just keep that in mind. And
So have you learned some of the different techniques on how to make your own sushi?
Oh no, she makes me go and buy it.
Oh, okay.
No, she doesn't trust me. I mean, I can make a lot of things. Like I can whip out chicken and dumplings like nobody's business, but nobody's rolling up a sushi roll. No, I wish. And she'll flat ask them too. She's like, "Is your fish fresh?"
Oh my goodness.
Really, you're 8. How do you even know? You should be eating fish sticks, okay?
But she cans her own salsa.
But she does, and we do. On a serious note, we raise a huge garden. We actually truck patch in the summer, so we sell what's called CSA boxes through Delta Roots. And Jessie can tell you the difference between a Black Beauty eggplant and a Japanese eggplant.
Oh, wow.
And seriously, she can go up there and tell you which cucumbers are the Sumter Sweets and which ones are the straight 8s, and which one of those are pickling cucumbers and which one is a slicing cultivar. So we do put up almost all of our vegetables, and we eat fresh year round. And we also buy projects from my livestock kids. So we put up all of our own meat, all of our own chickens, everything like that. So it does. It's exactly what you guys were saying about engaging the parents with the child, and what Jerrie was saying about doing things as a family. I grew up this way, and now my children are growing up this way, and hopefully their children will too. And it definitely makes a difference, I feel like, in how your child eats at home.
And you just brought up a point that how the 4-H club interacts with your program.
That's correct.
You, on one hand, are teaching the children about livestock, how to get their hands dirty in the soil and get to know the land they live on, and then, okay, let's grow our own food, let's raise our own livestock, and then turn around, okay, I'm not to offend anyone who are plant eaters,
Sure, absolutely.
But for those of us who eat meat, okay, this is where your meat comes from.
That's
this
correct.
Is what it should look like and taste, so
That's
your
correct.
programs really do interconnect in a lot of ways.
Right. Now, I'm not saying take it to the extreme of going homestead or, we do have
nobody's got time for that business. I grew up on a farm.
But,
right to Kroger sometimes.
Take it baby steps. You never know. I just started my son is 14 and he just started getting into the kitchen, but now he's eating more and he's eating more healthier.
Okay.
So it's, and I ain't got room for all that.
Her son, she may not tell you, but he also raised one of the best broiler flocks. It's a program that we do through 4-H. They are given 15 broiler chicks. They're 24 hours old, and then they raise them and then show them at Buffalo Island Junior Livestock Show coming up in April. So her son actually had a wonderful flock of broilers. So it's a great program because it lets the kids see, there's a lot of misconceptions about the poultry industry right now that are just simply not true. Okay. So it lets kids see, wow, I'm raising my 15 broilers and I'm doing them. Many people choose to use the organic food that you can purchase even at Orscheln's now. I'm raising them on organic food, and at 6 weeks, they're bigger than my 2-year-old laying hen.
Wow.
So it is just genetics. But my point to that was, Josh is 14, he's getting into the kitchen, but not only is he getting into the kitchen, he also successfully raised a flock of 15 broilers and was able to process those out. We processed about 70 head of chickens last year in Craighead County.
70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they were good.
Oh, wow.
They're quite excellent.
You're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We had a few blunders this morning, but we're back on track. And my special guest today are Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook. They're here from the University of Arkansas Extension Services, the Craighead County edition. Jerrie represents the FNEP program, and Maleigha represents the 4-H program. And we've just been talking about, basically almost farm to table, and then how to incorporate a healthy nutrition, how to start, eating healthier, developing a healthier lifestyle when it comes to your nutrition. And then, of course, we're getting to some of the physical activity stuff a little later because they also try to incorporate that as well. First, we got to get you eating right.
Right.
And then we got to get you moving.
Absolutely.
So, and then with the 4-H club, I'm sure you keep your kids moving all of the time.
We do, and I don't know if we want to let Jerrie talk a little bit first or me go into it.
We're just tag team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did a program last year, and we're getting ready. We'll start training for it in February. But talking about moving, I have a project club, and it started out really strong, and then it's kind of waned, and it's starting to come back. But it's called Fitness Fanatics, and we do 4 big projects a year. So we went hiking, just locally at the nature center last year, and then we also went and did the event that's coming up. It's an annual event. Last year we went and participated in the Little Rock Children's Marathon.
Okay.
So what the kiddos did is we did a 6-week, kind of like a couch to 5K almost program that the Children's Marathon gives out. And they actually ran 25 miles and logged it prior to the event. And they ran their last, is it 1.6 miles? I forget. What's a marathon? 26.3 or something like that. I think 26.3. But anyway, they ran that last mile and something at Little Rock, and they got to actually run it. It was the last mile of the Little Rock Marathon, which was happening the next day. And so you get there, and there's like music everywhere and balloons everywhere and a sea of kids all lining up. And I mean, they just did. If there are teachers out there listening, I highly recommend it. It was an amazing experience for those kids. But the point is, those kids ran 26 miles. They committed to running a mile every so many days, and they logged it. Your PE time can count for that, or if you play basketball, your time can count for that. But they ran over, most of them actually, 26 miles. And the older kids mentored them, ran with them, and they ran the 5K.
That is wonderful, wonderful. Again, you're tuned in to Community Conversations with my special guests, Ms. Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook. If you have any questions concerning the programs that they run with the University of Arkansas Extension Services, the food nutrition, or 4-H, you can give us a call, 870-277-1080, or you can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube and leave us a message or shout out, and we'll be happy to get it asked on the air. Okay, so let's talk about some other nutrition programs. One thing, I had some thoughts. Okay, there are more and more families that are trying to go non-meat, not necessarily become vegan or 100% vegetarian, but they're trying to reduce the amount of meat simply because of, personal choices or their health-related issues. There's a lot of people now going gluten-free due to, and I'm still kind of on the fence about what gluten is. Can you explain that a little bit?
I don't go that in depth.
Okay.
Now I do. Whenever we get to talking about the grain portion of my plate, I do, for those that think that they might not be able to have gluten, I tell them that they need to speak with their doctor first, because there is a test that they can do.
Okay.
But I do give them a handout concerning what gluten is, and which grains actually have gluten in it and which ones are gluten free, because I do have some that are what is that, gluten?
Yeah.
So there's some that can't eat it, so that way they can know, because it's not really put out there, well, what's gluten-free, unless you look at the package. So,
yes.
And you kind of want to know ahead of time, so maybe you can plan your meals better. But we do kind of talk about meatless meals a lot. And it's just for the fact, not just because of vegan, but because in the new 2015 to 2020 food guidelines, it suggests that men and teenage boys eat less meat protein and more nuts, seeds, and beans. So it's just a healthier alternative.
Is it to maybe help muscle development, or?
Yes.
Okay. And so, but females need that protein that comes.
They need the iron.
The iron, okay.
Now you do get iron from other sources too, but iron is a good source from meats, and so women tend to be more on the anemic side at times.
Yes.
So
Okay. Another thing I was thinking of, and we had this discussion when you were here before. I know it's been a while, but some children are picky eaters. How can parents manipulate the meal to get the child to maybe eat something they think, I don't like that, but they never know if they like it? Not to say cover it up with a bunch of sauce, but what are some ways that parents can manipulate certain vegetables that
kids really don't understand what all is in their food, and they are not as picky as what they think they are.
Okay.
I agree with
most
that
of the
totally,
time, Most of the time, they'll say, "Oh, I don't like tomatoes," or "Oh, I don't like onions." We did KLEK County Healthy Family Challenge in June, and they made guacamole dip.
Okay.
They discovered what was in guacamole after the fact, after they made it. They made it, and they loved it. And some kids that did not realize that they liked that kind of food, they loved it. And so that, for those kids, made a huge difference. I've gone into schools, and I've given them chips and salsa, because salsa is a healthy food because it has a lot of vegetables in it. If you get a whole grain chip, like a tortilla chip, that's a healthy alternative. You just don't want to get too much salt in there. But I would go in there to the second graders, and they would love the salsa, and I would say, "Who in here doesn't like onions? Stand up." And so they would stand up, and I would say, "Who in here doesn't like tomatoes?" You know, I would just kind of play it, and I would say, "Well, guess what? I tricked you. You ate them." And they were like, "Oh no!" So you would be amazed at what kids would eat. I mean, whenever you're sitting down eating a meal with your child, if you'll say, "Do you know what's in that?" You know, just talk to them about the food, because most of the time they don't know what they're eating. And it's always good to start early for them to know.
I've made a meal once, and my son, even though he's 19, he's gotten more picky at this age than before. And he's always like, "I don't like mushrooms, I don't like this, I don't like that." So I made an Alfredo dish. I didn't put any meat in it. I had a can of mushrooms, I think some frozen green peas, and something else. And so he was like, "What's all in that?" I said, "Taste it first, and then you might like it." And I put some garlic and Italian seasoning, so the seasoning helped to kind of cover up the raw.
Yes.
Well, the mushrooms weren't raw, but kind of cover up that mushroom flavor. Right. And he ended up eating it, so it's like, okay, so you do like mushrooms, whether you know it or not.
So funny.
One of the tips that we give parents is slice it up really small, put it in a casserole, put it in a soup.
Okay.
You know, they don't recognize it because it's so small. And so they'll eat it, and most of the times they'll enjoy it.
Okay.
So whenever you're sitting down to eat it, you can talk about the food, to explain to them, "Well, this is what all we have in it," and then don't do it before they try it.
Right.
We did a program all through the summer. I was able to get a Youth Choice grant. So I did a program out at Brooklyn with some of the 2nd and 3rd grade Brooklyn Cats Club. That's the after school program. And so we did a different recipe each week, and we did 6 different recipes, and they were able to create their own cookbook at the end.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, because I want you to finish this story when we come back. We're going to get ready to take a break. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook of the University of Arkansas Extension Services, the KLEK County office. So please don't go away. We'll be right back. You can also leave your comments on Facebook or YouTube.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Men, how can you be a better dad today than you were yesterday? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Pursuing the goal of being an all-pro dad is one of the most important things you can do in life. And it's a goal we get to strive toward for the rest of our lives. So here are 5 ways to be a better dad to your children. First, be there for your kids. It's so important to set aside one-on-one time for each of your kids so you can get to know them and love them well. Second, share a passion. Find something you both like to do and do it together, whether it's camping, fishing, or playing a sport. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook.
New St. John Missionary Baptist Church, 308 North Main Street in Jonesboro, is under the direction of Reverend Ted T. Taylor Sr. Worship services are Sundays at 11 o'clock a.m., Sunday school is on Sundays at 9:30 a.m., prayer service is Wednesday nights at 6:30, and Bible class is on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. New St. John also has the Men of Standards Ministries, Outreach Ministry, Choir, Youth Ministry, Dance Ministry, and Missionary Society. www.newstjohn.org. New St. John Missionary Baptist Church on Facebook, 870-932-6915.
Did you know KLEK has a brand new streaming app? That's right, you can listen to KLEK 102.5 FM anywhere in the world. The app is available for all Android phones and tablets, as well as iPhones and iPads. Just search your app store for KLEK and download the KLEK app for free today, and don't miss a beat of the education, entertainment, and empowerment on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK, and I'm speaking with Mrs. Jerrie Nelson and Mrs. Maleigha Cook from the University of Arkansas Extension Services, and we're going to get right back into where we left off. Maleigha was telling us a story about a cookbook, and then we're going to go to Ms. Jerrie to talk about some other nutrition things. We're talking about how we want our children to eat more healthy, incorporate more vegetables and things like that, and how can it be affordable? So, Miss Maleigha, can you finish the story?
Absolutely. And I think this will be a perfect segue into what Jerrie has to talk to you guys about. But essentially, I was just saying we were able to do a grant program at Brooklyn with the After School Club. So I came in for 6 weeks in a row, and we did a different healthy recipe every day. And really, I purposely chose very off-the-wall vegetables. Not really off-the-wall, but things that typically have a bad stereotype with children.
Okay.
Asparagus.
Yes.
Ooh. Avocado. Ooh. Green herbs like cilantro and basil.
Yes.
They're like, no, I'm not eating that. So we went in, and the very first day I talked to the kids. I said, we're going to start this program, and you guys are going to have a finished cookbook when you get done. And they actually got to they paired up with a partner, and I brought in all the fresh ingredients. We put it out on the table.
Okay.
They helped me prep everything, and they actually made it. So whatever we did that day, those kids made it themselves. With the exception of when we did the asparagus, they prepped all their asparagus with their sea salt and olive oil, and then we put it in the hot skillet, the electric skillet, and I kind of stir fried it for them. The kids absolutely loved it. I didn't have a single thing the entire time that the kids wouldn't eat. I ended up sending the leftover ingredients home with some of the kids because they loved it so much they wanted to go home and make it. But I just wanted to stress that I think because we made it fun and because we had a rule on day one, and it was we have a no thank you bite. So we do this at my house. It's worked well with my daughter. I told them, I said, you're not allowed when you're making this food to say that you don't like it, even if you think that you don't. Okay. You are not allowed to be ugly about this food. You can only say nice things because your friend next to you might really want to try it. But if they think that you don't like it, it can influence them. Oh. I said, so we are all going to have, of every single thing we eat, unless you have an allergy, we are going to have a no thank you bite. Okay. And I said, you must take one real bite. And then if you don't like it, you can say, no, thank you, Miss Maleigha, I don't like that. And then that's all, and then you just set it to the side.
Okay.
Not one thing was not eaten. And I did have one person refuse to eat something. And this is where it goes back to being a role model. My little boy had made the guacamole, and we scoop out our avocado half, and you mix up your stuff, and then you put it back in the avocado half, and it's like a little bowl, and you can hold it and dip your avocado or your guacamole out of it. And he was so proud. He was so proud. And of course, you have two halves an avocado. So he saved the second half for his dad. Okay. And when his father came to pick him up, his father would not eat the guacamole that the little boy had made, and was very unappreciative. And you could just see the little boy's face fall. And I thought, that right there is why a lot of kids won't eat things, because they see their parents and their parents don't eat it. So you have to set that role model, try the no thank you rule, and get in there and cook with them, make it simple, and make it an adventure. So that kind of segues into what Jerrie has to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't expect your kids to eat healthy if you're not going to try to eat healthy. Maybe there's foods out there that you haven't tried, but your child loves them. Try it just to be that role model so that you can be like, well, I'll try it. And I know my supervisor does a program called the 2-Bite Club.
Okay.
And so it's where you take 2 bites to try it, and then you decide whether or not you like it.
Okay.
The program, but it's for the younger kids. But if we actually set out to try to eat healthier and our kids seeing us eat healthier, they're going to make better choices as well. And eating healthy doesn't have to cost a lot.
That's right.
I've had so many people tell me it's so expensive to eat healthy. Well, if you look at it, if you compare a candy bar that you would buy in the grocery store that's, what, 78 cents?
No.
Oh, at least
$1
nowadays, or
something.
$1, yeah.
To a banana,
Okay.
one, you're going to get less calories. You're going to pay 78 cents for this candy bar, and you're going to pay 20 cents for one banana.
Okay.
Now, you don't necessarily go in and buy one banana,
Yeah.
but if you plan out your meals, your snacks, your breakfast, your lunch, if you plan it all out, which just takes you maybe 30 minutes at the beginning of the week or the end of the week, you're actually going to save time and money.
Okay.
Because you're not going to be standing around thinking, I have no idea what I'm going to cook for supper. Let's just go to McDonald's.
And that is the key word you just said, planning.
Absolutely.
I've tried to tell different people that I know, especially ones that have bigger families, okay, let's Monday through Friday, let's just start with 1 week or maybe 3 days. And then out of those 3 days, what is something you can cook that can be a leftover meal?
Yes. Yes.
A casserole goes a long way. And then if you pair a casserole, which is probably a pasta and a meat and some cheese or something, then you could do a side vegetable. Or me personally, because I'm a one-pot person.
Me too.
Girl, yes.
Vegetable,
Yes.
meat, noodle, or rice, or whatever sauce,
Right.
everything in one big pot. I will brown my meat, put it in something else, cook whatever else, and then dump it all back.
Yeah, except for I just do the one complete pot. I cook everything in that one pot. I'll brown my meat, then I'll throw in my vegetables and my pasta and add in enough water so they all cook together and absorb those flavors. And that's one of the things too that we talk about in one of the lessons is planning and shopping. And I'm trying to expand that to where we're also talking about saving more money. We talk about saving money, but I'm expanding it to go more into how to use coupons, because coupons are a big thing right now. How to save your money, go into stores and everything. I also give out a list of what's on sale when, at what time of the year, so that maybe you are planning a big purchase or you have to go out and buy this. Well, when's the best time to buy it?
Okay.
Buy it at this time. Don't buy it at this time because you're going to pay way more. So that's something that we try to do because money's tight.
Yes, ma'am. All right, you tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK with Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook and myself, Quabila Harden. Did I say that right? Yes, okay.
No, I think you said Jerrie Cook. I don't know.
Jerrie
Maleigha-
Nelson, Maleigha Cook, and Quabila Harden.
We might be willing to swap right now, actually, so it's okay.
Oh, God.
Sorry, husbands.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. And they are from the University of Arkansas Extension Services, the Food Nutrition Program, and the 4-H Club. I do have a question, Ms. Jerrie, as you were talking about when to buy what. Do you offer any handouts or options on frozen versus canned versus fresh? And if you buy fresh, what can be frozen? How long to keep it? Things that just frozen, canned, fresh. Like, do you talk about that in some of your classes?
We do talk about frozen, canned, fresh. We also talk about what not to buy in each of those sections. And whenever it comes to fresh, when to buy it fresh.
Okay.
I give them a handout. They always get handouts.
Okay.
And it talks about those items, but we also discuss it, because it's not really me sitting at the front of the room and talking. It's Let's all talk together.
Okay.
Let's see, what are you doing? I did this at one point and it just didn't work.
Okay.
Or I'm having this problem. What should I do? And maybe someone else has been through that already. So it's more of a let's get together and talk. But we also cook. We also give them stuff. So it's, I don't know.
Okay.
It's just a good time to get together.
Alrighty, so and then if someone buys something fresh, what I'm learning, I don't do a lot of smoothies, but when I do them, I've learned that I can take my bananas, unpeel them, wrap them in aluminum or plastic, and freeze them, and then just pop one in the blender with whatever other ingredients, and it's so much more convenient than actually putting ice. The frozen banana can replace the ice, and then it adds a creamy texture. I had to turn my son onto that. He was like, I don't like bananas in my smoothies. I'm like, well, you really don't taste the banana like you think you do. It just adds a creamy texture and the icy texture.
We don't use ice in the smoothies that we make. We use frozen fruits.
Okay.
So it's kind of like one of the recipes that we use has strawberries in it, and it uses frozen strawberries. So you don't have to necessarily put in ice. It's frozen strawberries, a banana, yogurt, and milk.
That's wonderful. And that's
so
super simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you, now that we talked about gluten allergies, or kind of intolerance to gluten, there are a lot of people that have dairy allergies. So do you discuss some non-dairy options like soy and almond milk?
We do. We also talk about the vegetables that have a lot of calcium as well.
Oh, wow.
So, because I am lactose intolerant, I can't, I'm the only one in my house that's lactose intolerant.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we talk about those options. And we talk about what you can do. I know there's pills out there, but really,
it's not worth it.
I can't see spending money whenever I can just have another food instead.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think a lot of people don't realize when you go to the vegetables, yes, you have definitely milk alternatives that offer you another liquid choice. But when you look at the ability or the bioavailability of calcium, broccoli is actually as good or better in some cases than milk because the calcium, it has a high level, but it's also very, very bioavailable. Like your body can actually take it and use it. It doesn't just flush through you.
Okay.
So.
Alrighty. So.
Yeah, spinach, chard, and then you also have your protein
Greens
options that are full of calcium, such as what's the fish that come in the can?
Tuna, or salmon, or.
Mackerel.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get it eventually, people. Okay.
Not enough coffee.
When you say fish in my house, I'm like, it's fried catfish that's got hot sauce on it. So that's what we do.
You can get.
It's fresh.
The mackerel, and there's like another little fish that you can get in a can. But what it is you're actually eating those bones as well.
Oh, sardines.
Sardines.
Ding, 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 ding. 10 points for the chicken, the black blazer.
Because they still have the bones in it, but the bones aren't crunchy. They're very flexible, very soft.
Okay.
So you're getting the calcium from those bones. So that's
Wow. I learned something today, but that's one of those no thank you for me.
Yeah, I got to go with you on that, Quibbling. We'll go right on down to Murdoch's.
Greens, turnip greens, mustard greens, those all have.
And I love that.
And the New Year's is coming up, and you got to have your black-eyed peas,
cabbage,
greens,
fried pork jowl. Nobody trying to steam pork jowl, fried, folks. I am the complete antithesis of what she's telling you. Do not steam that mess. Fry it in some bacon grease.
Okay, so Maleigha's the deep fryer.
Somebody tried to put it in my beans one time. I was like, what is that? That's supposed to be a ham hock. First of all, if it's going to be in my peas. So I'm sorry, we're deviating.
Okay, we're supposed to be talking about nutrition.
There's lots of protein in ham hocks. And you don't throw anything away. All right, go. I ain't getting into pickle pig feet.
This is what happens. This is why I love for them to come down. You're listening to Community Conversations.
Legonzi's going to be like, never get to leave them ever again on the air.
We are.
Oh, it's hot. Yeah.
We are chatting it up and laughing a lot with Mrs. Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook of the University of Arkansas Extension Services from the food nutrition program. and the 4-H Club. We are just having a blast, and I hope you're tuned in. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope that you're learning something as well. We are talking about some valuable information, how to increase the nutrition in your household, how to get your kids to eat better and eat healthier. I don't want to run out of time. I want to give Maleigha time to talk about a project the 4-H is doing, and I want to give Miss Jerrie time to talk about a job opportunity. Time is winding down for the applications to be turned in with that, so whichever one wants to go first.
I'll go first because it'll take you more time for that.
Okay.
And you're a talker too. So.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So we have a job opportunity that is open. What I do, the FNET program assistant, or also a nutrition educator. It's a full-time position, and it's only open until Thursday. We're going to stop taking applications on Thursday because we are looking to hire someone to start January 2nd or 3rd, so that we can get the interviews done before our Christmas break that we have coming up. So you just have to have a high school diploma because we do training. I just got back from Little Rock last week. We did training in Little Rock. You have to have a vehicle that can take you to do the programs. There's not really a lot. If you want, you can email me at jnelson@uaex.edu, and I can send you the link to go to apply. Or if you have more questions about it, you can call the office at the number that we gave earlier to ask about or to talk to me, and I can explain the job a little bit better. You don't necessarily have to be a health nut to do this. You know, maybe you're interested in cooking. Maybe you like to cook. I love to cook. Maybe you're interested in cooking. Maybe you're interested in making some small changes. I've worked with the extension office since March of last year, and I've lost weight, but my son has come off of medicine, and he has lost weight as well.
That's a big thing, yes.
And it's not like I'm sitting here saying, eat your broccoli, you know? But we made small changes. As I was learning this stuff while I was training, I'm like, well, I wonder if I did this. You know, and so we made small changes, and I said, you know, I think that you don't need that anymore because I don't think it's good for you. And, you know, it wasn't like I was just saying, you know, no! I was saying, let's try this. And, you know, he was game for it. And, you know, it was more of a talk. And so, and the small changes made a big difference. But I'm not saying that you have to be that way. But you have to want to be interested in health and interested in cooking. You have to like to cook. You can't be like, well, I ain't cooking.
You know, I'm challenging myself to do less and less processed stuff because I have this condition called lymphedema, and basically your lymphatic system is not processing the toxins in your body and getting rid of them. So if I'm putting less in my body that's toxic, then my body can work better to get rid of what's already there. So
that's one of the changes we made as well. Whenever my son and I started, you know, whenever we did all this, I stopped buying Hamburger Helper.
Oh my God.
I have
She can teach you how to make your own Hamburger Helper.
I can teach you how to make it yourself.
The healthy version spice pack. It's awesome, for real.
You make, we have a recipe that we do, and it shows you how to make it, and it makes up a bunch, and it's cheap. So you're actually spending less than if you were to
I've used it several times. It's really good. It's as good or better than the Stroganoff potato helper.
I need that.
Or Hamburger Helper. That's good. That's good.
Sadly, I have some boxes of Hamburger Helper in my house.
Girl, we all have before.
I last year, I had not had Hamburger Helper since sometime last year, April maybe, whenever I decided, you know what? This is pretty good. You know, and then it also gets you creative because you're learning more about different herbs and spices that you can use to cook with. And so you're like, well, I bet if I put this in here, well, what if I just do this? You know? And now it didn't always taste good, but we always tried.
That's called trial and error, and you learn what not to try next time. Or what
I have some rosemary, thyme, and celery.
Rosemary's
salt.
awesome.
Oh, rosemary goes in everything in my house.
I have no idea what to really put it on. So.
Rosemary's everything. Chicken, beef, anything. Eggs. Wow. We put it in our eggs, rosemary and dill.
Yeah, we just got a new cookbook, and it tells you what seasonings to use with what meat, and it's just like amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. And that's what we're going to be giving to our participants now is this.
So you can put a pink bow on one for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Herbs, before I say something about the Colby project, I just want to say herbs are something that's really easy to grow.
Oh.
They grow well in a pot, a window box. They love sandy, yucky soil.
Really?
So if you're going, I just live in town, I don't really have any space. Seriously, if you can put a 5-gallon bucket out there, or you can go buy a 39-cent pot from Walmart or
Or
Lowe's.
I'll save you more money. You can use that Prego jar you use.
Or that Prego. Yes, I'm telling you, they will grow anywhere and in anything, and there is nothing like fresh herbs. And then you take them and what's left over going into the winter, you cut it back, I hang it, and I dry it. And so I have little jars of fresh herbs that I dried in my house, and my little girl helps with that. She loves it. So, all right. I got to talk about Kobe. How much time do I have?
Well, we have a minute in this segment, but then we have some more time. So
you just want us to like dance or something for the next minute?
Okay, I'll try to.
And we can if you want us to.
Oh, my
I don't think our earphones will stay on.
Okay.
We could still get our legs up that high.
Maybe.
We don't want you to hurt yourself.
Maybe.
We do not have liability insurance to cover our guests.
I don't think U of A is going to cover us on that.
Oh God, we cannot give Leganzi a heart attack on today.
But if you're interested in the job, if you have questions about it, call the office, send me an email. I'll be happy to explain it more, or maybe break it down a little bit easier for you.
And you can have this much fun working for them too.
We do every day.
It's crazy.
Do every day in our office.
All right, so you're tuned into Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We have one more segment coming up, so please do not go away. We're going to talk about some of the projects going on with the 4-H Club. They have a coat drive and some other things. So please stay tuned. Community Conversations with Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook on Community Conversations 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. The Better Business Bureau has issued a warning to look out for scams. Scam artists can trick you in a variety of ways. They place fake ads online and list vacation rentals for great prices. They steal property descriptions and photographs from legitimate real estate websites and then post addresses for homes that aren't available, or even make up fake addresses for these listings. In some cases, pretending to be the homeowner, scammers use information obtained from people who respond to the ads they posted to commit identity theft, especially in popular retirement areas or college towns. Other con artists rent an empty house, and once the real tenants return, they come home to unwanted residents living in their home. The key to protecting yourself, according to the Better Business Bureau, check out the property thoroughly before putting money down for a vacation home. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Blues live for 5 at Ledges 1025. Only $5 admission. Saturday, December 17th, 8 o'clock p.m. Featuring from Dallas, Texas, Lerone Powers.
What's the name of that thing you told me last night?
Lerone Powers.
And you're the mother, but don't you get caught. You're gonna have to pay the cost.
Performing all of his hits.
Ain't nothing but a party.
Lerone Powers. Don't miss it. Blues live for 5 at Ledges 1025. Saturday, December 17th, 8 o'clock p.m. Only $5 admission. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Tax time is here at Car Today, the original buy here, pay here dealer. New Car Today General Manager Sean Corns.
With new inventory available daily, whatever you're looking for, we've got it.
Located on Stadium Boulevard just south of the 63 bypass, tax time is the time to drive at Car Today. Car Today.
Experience the joy with Bishop Adrian R. Rogers of Fullness of Joy Church, 3307 Ray Street, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401.
From the KLEK Community Calendar. The Jonesboro Fire Department will offer free smoke detectors. The City of Jonesboro acquired grant funding to provide smoke detectors to any home. The detector must be installed by Jonesboro Fire Department firefighters. More information on getting a smoke detector installed in your home is available at 870-932-2428. 870-932-2428.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.5 FM, we ask that the announcement be sent at minimum 1 week in advance. Thank you for supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, we're back on Community Conversations. I hope that you're still with us out there, and I hope that you are enjoying the show with Mrs. Jerrie Nelson and Maleigha Cook from the University of Arkansas Extension Services, the Cricket County office, representing the Food Nutrition Education Program and the 4-H Club. So I'm going to let Ms. Maleigha go into talking about a project they have coming up.
Sure. We do community service projects throughout the year, and I wish I could take credit for coming up with them, but I can't. Typically, I have a 4-H member that will come up and say, hey, we've heard about a need, or hey, there's something that I would like to do, and then we stem out from there. And so this project is in its third year. It's called Colby's Coats for Kids. It was actually started, or has been started, 3 years ago by a young man, a West Side elementary student, Colby Huffman. And 3 years ago, he decided that really he pretty much had everything he wanted for his birthday.
Okay.
So he got this idea, and he told his mom, he said, hey, I think instead of doing gifts, I would like for people to bring coats. He said, I want to do a coat drive. So his mother, who's also wonderful, she is very involved at the school and with the community there. And so she's like, okay, well, we'll do a coat drive. So that first year, he collected 60 coats. And they actually identified families and students through different venues that needed these coats. And they actually made sure that those people got the coats. Like, they delivered them to these families and these children. So it wasn't like we're going to collect a bunch of coats and then we're going to go take them to a drop-off point, which there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely. But they kind of went that extra mile to make sure to get sizes, you know, and families said, hey, we really need a coat, you know, and a 2T for our young toddler. Then Kim and Kobe made sure that they got that. So they did it last year. Kobe collected over 100 coats his second year. And his goal this year is 120 coats.
That is wonderful.
So, yes, so I think the fact that I have a young man who is willing to go out there and put this together is pretty amazing. And so I promised today that I would get this out there to the community. It's been on our Facebook. His mother shared it. Friends have shared it. But here's the deal. We need coats of all sizes. We call it Colby's Coats for Kids. But really, it's Colby's Coats for Kids, adults, and anybody who needs them. Okay. We will take all sizes. I think we've had most of our specific sizes requests at this point filled. Okay. But I know there's always a need for youngster jackets because our kids grow so fast, especially in the elementary years. But we will take coats, grown men, women, kids, junior high, senior high babies. So I am a drop-off location for that.
Okay.
So let me give you my address.
Okay.
At Craighead County Extension Office, 611 East Washington Avenue, Suite A, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401. We are in the same brick building as the health department, so we are right across from the senior center, and we are adjacent to St. Bernard's Auditorium.
Okay.
But I really want to help Colby meet that goal of 120 coats.
Okay.
Other 4-H members are collecting coats to give to Colby as well, but I just think in our community, if we can band together and help make that a possibility, I think that is really truly making a difference. It's truly making a difference. So we have that going on. We always have our food drive campaign.
Okay.
And then we also have a program coming up with our team leaders called Back the Badge. So if you're interested in perhaps joining our team leaders, Jerrie Nelson with me today is actually the leader for that club. She can tell you a little bit about it here in a second. But basically, they bake homemade goodies. They bring them together. They put them in a basket. And traditionally, we have taken it to the sheriff's department. But we've expanded this year. It will be the sheriff's department and JPD will be receiving goodies on Christmas Eve for the working staff.
That is wonderful.
So Colby's Coats for Kids, please bring me jackets. You can call the extension office, 933-4565. I will even meet you and pick them up.
All right.
You talking about team leaders?
Oh, team leaders, yeah. We are actually meeting next week to put our little goodie baskets together.
Okay.
We're going to gather, we have them make little goodies or go out and buy things to put in there, and we give them cards as well saying, we support you, thank you for serving our community. Just one of those, you're doing your job, we're proud of you for doing your job, and the kids love it. We have a good time when we do it.
And it builds a good relationship.
It does.
It's wonderful. And it's like getting them introduced to philanthropy work,
yes,
the community service. It's like teaching them, okay, I need to do something outside of myself. There are other people out there that are in need, and I have what I need.
Absolutely.
Let me just show my love and support to somebody else.
Yes.
Any small gesture makes a big difference. So I try to encourage a lot of people that I come in contact with. It's not about the big gestures. It's about the little things that can make somebody's day.
That's
so right. I can't thank you, ladies.
It's better to give than to receive.
Yes,
That's right.
Ma'am. I saw a commercial recently. I don't know. I forgot who the commercial was for. People go to this box, they answer a phone, and someone says, take this gift and go give it to someone in this station. And so they're looking around, they spot the person in the color coat, whatever, and they go give this person the gift. The person's like, wow. They open it and it's just seeing the joy on their face that, someone
love that.
Someone thought enough of me to give me something. So anyway, and it brings two strangers together. So
right.
Anyway, I hope that you all have enjoyed the show today. Those out there listening, you can still leave questions or comments, and I will get them to Ms. Jerrie and Ms. Maleigha. If you're interested in the job, please contact Jerrie. I will make sure to put her email address. The phone number is already under the video, but I'll make sure to put her email address in the job name. And then if you are interested in donating coats, I'll make sure to leave that information as well under the video. So please reach out to these ladies. This is the season for giving, for showing love to someone else out there. So are there any shout outs you would like to give? Tyler, where are you, Tyler?
We missed you, Tyler.
So Tyler Brown, who is another employee of UAE, University of Arkansas Extension Service, couldn't be here today. We miss you, Tyler.
And shout out to Colby Huffman and all my West Side 4-H people over there for putting this together.
Any shout outs for you, Jerrie? Okay.
I don't do shout outs.
Okay.
I live in the dark ages.
Oh my
Shout out to Edna, adopted mom. She feeds us when we're starving.
All right, so thank you all for tuning in today. Please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow is Ask the Attorney Day with Mr. Scott Wilhite. So I hope everyone has a very blessed and warm day. Join us tomorrow, KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.